Welcome everybody, Eugene Hughes Motorized. First off, today's video, I'm sorry it's not about motorized bicycles, but hey, it may be for those of you who like to work on your motorized bicycles throughout the winter. You might want a diesel heater for your little shop, your work area, okay? The people of Vevor contacted me. They asked me if I'd do a review of their diesel heater, and yeah, guess what? That's what I'm doing here today. So this is, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up, right? It's a good little heater here. Okay, so here's how it's going to work here. You've got the hot air out here. You've got your power switch and your up and down buttons here. Here is the diesel tank on the top. On the back of the unit, you have the power cable, which goes to 12 volts DC. It says 12 volts DC, 15 amp, and you also have a fuse on it. I have a 12 volt battery charger here, which I'm going to use to power this up. And let's turn it on. It'll even talk to you.
Start heating.
It says start heating. Since I don't have any fuel in it, I go ahead and turn it off.
I wish you a safe journey.
And it says I wish you a safe journey. That's a nice little touch here. Alright, so here's what comes with your kit here. You've got the hot air exhaust tube, which comes from the heater unit itself. You've got the adapter for the rotary piece here, the little output vent that we've got. So we're just going to take that and pop that on. And that just snaps in place there. And that allows you to turn your vent to direct the air where you want it. This piece will go in there. You have the air intake tube that pulls in the air, and you have an air filter that goes onto it, and you have the clamps for it. And of course these clamps here are for your air out of the heater. Then we've got the metal exhaust tube, the muffler clamps. You've got some clamps for the metal exhaust tube, as well as a bracket for mounting the exhaust tube if should you wish, and of course the screws for the mounting clamps and the mounting piece here. You've got 4 bolts and nuts for mounting the heater to whatever surface you want to mount it on. And then you have the remote switch here. Is it going to heat a huge shop? No. Is it going to heat a house? No. These are very popular for campers, RVs, smaller spaces and the like. If you really want to keep an area heated, you need some insulation. My shop's uninsulated, so it's not going to keep my whole shop toasty warm. But it's definitely going to pump out some heat. So let's go over what this thing is, what it does, right? Okay, so you've got the diesel heater here. You have the supply duct that comes with it. Setup is real simple. You put the supply duct on it. You put a intake hose on it. You can stretch the intake hose and make it a little bit longer. And the intake hose has an air filter on it. It goes on the little fitting underneath it here, the one that has the fuel tube next to it. And then the other one is for the exhaust. Now the exhaust you want to put outdoors, and as well, if it's going to be touching anything flammable, I might recommend you wrap it with some exhaust wrap, some insulation, whatever, and plug the holes. That way you're not getting air or fumes coming back in here. The intake, you can just let it dangle and hang, whatever. You've got the filter on it. Comes with all the clamps, everything you need. Comes with a cool little remote here that you can use to turn it on and off and bump the heat up and down. And let's see here, what else we got here. You need a 12 volt power supply for it. You can use a car battery if you got a big old car battery. Plug it to that, get your juice here. A motorcycle battery, which I use for testing, isn't enough to run it for long at all. It just drains it a little bit too fast for a motorcycle battery to work. I'll link a cool little 110 volt power supply that I've ordered for this here that'll work. You need 12 volt, 15 amp power supply. It has a fuse on the power cable that goes into it here, so no problem there. You're going to put diesel in the fuel tank right here on top. You can see the level, how much diesel you've got on it. You hook it up to your 12 volt power supply, you turn it on. The instructions that come with it aren't the clearest for this old Texas boy here, but you start, basically you just turn it on, you go through the numbers, you got an up and down arrow, you got the power button, turn it on, bump the numbers up to 10. 10 is the highest. That's when the fan runs at the highest setting and it puts out the most heat. And you can play around with it. You can also set it for temperature, Fahrenheit, Celsius. You kind of suffer through it and then read your directions and you'll see kind of what it's talking about and work your way through it. I got it speaking Russian to me there. When you first turn it on, it says power on, whatever, and then when it shuts down, it says power off, and then after a couple of minutes, it'll say goodbye, safe travels, whatever. So your instructions, it'll tell you everything that's in it. The instructions mention a Bluetooth connection with an app. Unless you get the higher end model, you're not going to get the Bluetooth here. This is the base model, which works fine. I don't care about using something on my phone or Wi-Fi or anything like that. This is just the basic model and it works great. So let's go ahead and turn it on.
Start heating.
Don't know if you can hear that. The computer says start heating. There you go. You can hear it pump. It's priming the pump here. You'll hear the fan start to run a little bit faster. The flame is just cut on. I'm starting to just barely feel some heat now. And I'm sure what it does is it goes through a self-check here. Okay, the flame's on. And yep, starting to feel some heat. And we definitely got some heat going here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and turn it off. Now at maximum heat output, I got about 228 degrees was the highest temperature I got coming out of the duct. Check it out. If you're interested, I'll leave links down below where you can get you one here. I'll leave a link for the 110 volt power supply, the insulating, the pipe wrap, the exhaust wrap. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Get that subscribe button. I promise I got motorized bike content coming up here soon. Thanks for watching.